Sorry about that. I had an alarm set and I accidentally let it ring. So it will be divided into two parts. A little way off, towering over their heads, they saw a tree which had certainly not been there before. It must have grown up silently yet swiftly, as a flag raises when you pull it straight up on a flagstaff. While they were all busied about the coronation, its spreading branches seemed to cast a light rather than a shade, and the silver apples peeped out like stars from under every leaf. But it was the smell which came from it, even more than the sight, that had made everyone draw a breath. For a moment, one could hardly think about anything else. "Son of Adam," said Aslan, you have sown well, and you, Narnians, let it be your first care to guard this tree, for it is your shield. The witch of whom I told you has fled far away into the north of the world. She will live on there, growing stronger in dark magic. But while that tree flourishes, she will never come down into Narnia. She dare not come within 100 miles of the tree, for its smell, which is joy and life and health to you, is death and horror and despair to her. Everyone was staring solemnly at the tree when Aslan suddenly swung around his head, scattering golden gleams of light through his mane as he did so, and fixed his large eyes onto the children. "What is it, children?" he said, for he caught them in the very act of whispering to one another. "Oh, Aslan, sir," said Diggory, turning red, "I forgot to tell you. The witch has already eaten one of the apples, one of the same kind that the tree grew from." He hadn't really said all he was thinking, but Polly at once said it for him. Diggory was also much more afraid than she of looking a fool. "So we thought, Aslan," she said, that there must be some mistake, and she really can't mind the smell of those apples." "Why do you think that, daughter of Eve?" asked the lion. "Well, she ate one, child," he replied. "That is why all the rest are now a horror to her. That is what happens to those who pluck and eat the fruits at the wrong time, and in the wrong way. The fruit is good, but they loathe it ever after." "Oh, I see," said Polly. "And I suppose because she took it in the wrong way, it wouldn't work for her. I mean, it won't make her always young and all that." "Alas," said Aslan, shaking his head, "it will. Things always work according to their nature. She has won her heart's desire. She has unwearying strength." God, that's a tongue twister. "And endless days like a goddess. But length of days with an evil heart is only length of misery, and already she begins to know it. All get what they want. They do not always like it." I nearly ate one myself, Aslan," said Diggory. "Would I?" "You would, child," said Aslan. "For the fruit always works. It must work. But it does not work happily for any who pluck it at their own will. If any Narnian, unbidden, had stolen an apple and planted it here to protect Narnia, it would have protected Narnia, but it would have done so by making Narnia into another strong and cruel empire like Charn. Not the kindly land I mean it to be. And the witch tempted you to do another thing, my son, did she not?" "Yes, Aslan. She wanted me to take an apple home to my mother." Understand then that it would have healed her, but not to your joy or hers. The day would have come when both you and she would have looked back and said, it would have been better to die in that illness. And Diggory could say nothing, for tears choked him, and he gave up all hopes of saving his mother's life. But at the same time, he knew that the lion knew what would have happened. There might be more terrible things than losing someone you love by death. But now Aslan was speaking again, almost a whisper. That is what would have happened, child, with a stolen apple. It is not what will happen now. What I give you now will bring joy. It will not, in your world, give endless life, but it will heal. Go, pluck her an apple from this tree. For a second, Diggory could hardly understand. It was as if the whole world had turned inside out and upside down. And then, like someone in a dream, he was walking across to the tree, and the king and queen were cheering him, and all the animals were cheering him too. He plucked an apple and put it in his pocket, then came back to Aslan. Please, he said, may we go now? He had forgotten to say thank you, but he meant it. And Aslan understood. Next time, chapter 15. The end of this story and the beginning of all others. And that one's, let's see, 211 to 221, so 10 pages long. Yeah.